sir and dear students. Today we are gathered here for the presentation, and we all know that the presentation is very important for everyone because it develops our communication skills, like how we tackle with the questions and how we can speak in the public figures. Like I would like to tell that before this I have done lots of presentation, and from every presentation we have learned many things. Like in this presentation, so like our institute, we all know that our institute name is Gandhi's Service, which means the revolution, right? So we want to keep that, we want to change our thinking ideas with the help of presentation, because in this presentation we are going to learn about the Antarctica, which we think that Antarctica is nothing but the ice of sea. In this presentation we will know that the nothing, like Antarctica is nothing just ice of sea, then it is more than ice of sea. So here we start. In this GIF you can see that the Antarctica place is very cold, because we have found this GIF, so we can see here that the cold part is being shown. In this we also have given that the frozen continent. I would like to say that Antarctica also known as the frozen continent because the regions of the ice. I would like to also mention that, I would like to give you knowledge that the world's 98% of the ice is available in Antarctica and Greenland only, and the other 2% are available in the other resources. So in this slide I would like to include my members, that myself, my brother and Pintu and Rahul. We are going to present our things in the basis of our content we have discovered, right? So this is a content slide, because we all know that content is very important, play a very important role in any presentation or any book. Because if we don't have any content, right, so we will be not going to know that what is in this presentation, because presence of the presentation, because presence of the content, we are able to know that what things are in this included. So in this our content we have introduction, history, current news, demography, facts, geography and conclusion, which I am going to cover the introduction and history, and my friend is going to Pintu is going to cover the current news, Nikhil is going to cover the demography and facts, and the last one, geography and conclusion, will be going to cover by the Rahul. So in this slide we can see that the map of the world, in which you can see every map, but you can see the Antarctica because it is in the pole part of the, you can say the North Pole, right? Because where, if you see the map of world that is only flat, we will see the Antarctica in any of the corner, because that is, we can't do the fold from up to down, right? So in introduction I would like to say that in world there are total 7 continents in the world. So in that, the first one is Asia, followed by the Africa, North America, South America, and in the 5th number is Antarctica. In the area of Antarctica, we can't, my friend will give the information about how much the land is, but I would like to give the brief information that how bigger it is. We can say that from Australia it is 2 times bigger, and from India it is 4.3 times bigger than India. Then how we can assume that how big it is, right? So we can also say that here I would like to also say that Antarctica is the only place where we can say no man's land, because there is no permanent settlement, right? Because people only go there for the tourist places or for the research and development only. So we were going to for the next slide, that is history. So in history we have only this much of slide, because we have this much of information because we have searched a lot and we haven't found that much of data. Because the lack of data, we have given some of the only data. So it is in early time it is known as Terra Australia, which means which actually we don't know the meaning, because we have found that in the Google, so we have put, because in that time we can see in the world map, right? So because it is the part of once when it was big mass land, it is known as I haven't remembered that name. It was a great supercontinent, right? That was Pangea, from which after the continental drift it was divided into 2 parts, that is Russia and I haven't forget that name. In the southern part it was with the Australia, and that was together, right? After the Gondwana land, because of the presence of Gondwana land, because it was together, it was known as the Terra Australis. So next is when it was discovered. We have searched a lot and we have find some of the data in which there are many questions, right? So we have think that which one will be correct, and we have discussed among the friends, so we have put this data. In 1773, European explorer which went to the Antarctica Circle, which he have gone through 3 years for traveling, and he have only discovered the land of from 230 kilometer away from 240 kilometer away from the Antarctica land. But after that he feels like nothing. We are not going to find that, so we will return. So after that, his name is James Cook, and his crew member they went. Then after one of the decade, so it was in 1821. American captain John Davis, and it was a sailor, and he went to the Antarctica for the first time. He landed on the Antarctica for the first time. We can say that in the true sense that he have found the Antarctica in true sense, because he have put his leg on that. Next one is later in the early 20th century, it was the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. We can say heroic exploration is the people moving from here to there with the help of globalization, right? We all know that the globalization make a world like a village. So in this process, everyone started going from here to there with the help of technology. In this, I would like to also give an extra information, guys, that from India, it was in 1983 to 1984, one of the member have reached the Antarctica. His name is Dr. Seth. I haven't remembered his full name, but his name is Dr. Seth, right? So I would like to put the next line. That is I would like to show you a image that how our continental drift was given. We can see that this was a part of a Gondwana line, and later it will be together. This is the part of Gondwana line, that upper one is the part of Russia, and later it will be divided into further more parts, in which we can see that India is being going from the part of Madagascar and with the side of Australia. Then later it was divided. This is connected with the Indian subcontinent. So this was the end of my slide. Next one will be going to by my friend. So I would like to
come here. Very good, very good. Yes, come here. Please do come here. Good morning, sir. I am here for continuing for the presentation given by our teammate Kavi, and my topic is continuous. And what is going on? In the Antarctica? Then we are heard by the news, and the current news is Antarctica experienced the massive earthquakes as formed as an inactive volcano erupt. In this statement, we have seen that the volcano erupt in the Antarctica, and we have seen that the volcano name is Orca. Orca is a type of volcano that affect our environment and the general and in the terms of it also damage the Antarctica environment. And the second statement is scientists explore the third Antarctica Doomsday Glacier. It is a type of glacier that have melted, and it is a large mass of the ice piece that have lost by the global warming. And the 23 scientists have go for the research that how the glacier have been melted and where it is lost it. And it also UK and US. Both countries has go for the 50 million dollar that is spent on his go for the research that how the glacier have been melting, and go for the study about the glacier. And Antarctica hit the record of the highest temperature. We know that global warming, and in terms of the temperature have rises day by day. Then the Antarctica have also effect on that. And in Antarctica, the degree of Antarctica is minus 11 degrees Celsius. That is due effect to the Antarctica. And the only total solar eclipse in 2021 has seen by the Antarctica, that the lunar eclipse. In 4 December 2021, that lunar eclipse that erupted on that day, then the first time the Antarctica peoples have seen on this day. And the Antarctica bacteria lives on this point have Antarctica bacteria lives on air and make their own water using the hydrogen as fuel. Most of the bacteria that does not haven't seen in the all the continent, because in Antarctica we have seen that scientists have seen that most of the bacteria does not exist in another continent. It only exists in Antarctica, and this types of bacteria has one usually find out in the usually found in the Mars. And in terms of fuel, the methane gas, we know that methane gas is so dangerous gas for the environment, and this comes from methane gas comes from the penguins, where the penguins have lived. Then the methane gas have been arrived from that place. Ozone layer over the Antarctica larger than the usual scientists say, because we have seen that the global warming and the ozone layer is the most important for our save the radiation of the sun, because when the radiation have come to our body and react with our body, then it will damage our body. Then and in terms of ozone layer, the ozone layer also damages our Antarctica. Then he will also melting the ice cube of the Antarctica zone. And now the last one is that the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022. In these terms, we have our Supreme Court have also give the sign to go for the research center and go for the research on the Antarctica continent, and we have seen that also bill pass for go for the research and in I lost the date of that bill pass, but in the two there are 3 research centers in the Antarctica, but one have Gangotri have closed it, then only 2 have continued. That name is Matre and one name I lost it, and that's all from my side. Now my teammates, Nikhil, come here.
Hello everyone. So my country is geography. So first of all, language. There are no official language. Some languages are used like English, German, Italian, Japanese, France, etc. And population, there is no permanent settlement. There is only seasonal. In seasonal time, the people is there 1K to 5K. So the literacy rate, you will surprised to know the literacy rate is 100% completed. And may I have attention please? So my next is amazing facts. So Antarctica is the highest driest, coldest, and windiest continent on Earth. And you will surprise to know Antarctica is a desert. Desert. Yes. And there is a no Antarctica time zone. The Antarctica has their own traits and diamonds due to floating in the air. And I have always said that there is no time zone. My 3 minutes will come.
Firstly, I want to sorry because my team will mention that Antarctica is located in North Pole, but Antarctica is located in South Pole. So now, first is our topic is the geography. What is geography? Geography is the study of places and their relationship between the people and the environment, because it is important. And now we are coming to the Antarctica's geography. Antarctica is the 5th largest continent in the world, because of it is also larger than the Europe. You can imagine how it big. And the now come the and also the Antarctica is completely covered by an ice sheet, because in their ice sheet there is approximately 6 kilometers depth in the water. So you can imagine how it can so and the next thing is the physical geography. In terms of physical geography, area. In according to the area, 14.2 million kilometers square. That means a huge. It is a huge large. It is how it is big. You can imagine. And that is next is the latitude and longitude. There is a latitude 82.868 degrees south and 135 degrees east. And that is the population. There is a less population compared than the other continent, other country, because there is a minimum 5,000 because of the seasonally tourists come, and also research center available in the South Pole in Antarctica. So that's why the tourist place visit and less population, and one reason that is the coldest area, so anyone cannot visit here. And there is natural resources. Natural resources is important of because it's many of countries known that natural resources, just like Jharkhand. But in the talk about the continent, there is many natural resources, just like chromium, copper, gold, iron, oil, and others so on. And talk about the climate, there is firstly lowest temperature even recorded on the Earth's surface, -89 degrees Celsius, which is very low temperature. So, but due to the melting of in Antarctica's there is a main gas organ in one automatically. That's why melting the water, and we can affect the environment. So that's why the climate is day by day changing. We cannot accurately say that is 10 degree 11 minus 7 degree. So that's why putting the one -10 degrees Celsius to -60 degrees Celsius. And there is a river system. We cannot directly say there is one river system, because all the heat covered by the ice. So under ice many rivers happen. But we searching on we found the 700 rivers and ponds in the Antarctica approximately. And the longest river in the Antarctica is the Onyx River, which is the very longest in only Antarctica. And now we are coming the mountain. Approximately 2,660 mountains are mountain peaks found in the Antarctica, because of the tectonic movement of the two. So that's why there is a mountain of longest mountain, the Mount Vinson, which is 4,892 meters, which is half of Mount Everest. We can imagine it is equal. And second, and also mountain is trans-Antarctic mountain is famous because they divided into this continent into two parts, East Antarctica and the West Antarctica. And also there is a one physically, you can say the physically Trans-Antarctica is it is divided by Trans-Antarctica between the Rosa Sea and the Weddell Sea. In Rosa Sea, we can see there is a different type of creature living in the water, because it also known as the last ocean, because it is a so South Pole, and because many government pass asking laws to uh, protect our the last ocean. So that in next research station in Antarctica, there is a 70 permanent research station in the Antarctica from 29 countries, including India. India have 3 research stations: Bharti, Maitri, Gangotri. Gangotri is the oldest, but he closed due to some reason. But active to research station Maitri and Bharti, and you can see the image of the mountain. This is the longest river, and the Bharti. You can, and I want to put the some things. It is the now the coming to the conclusion part. So conclusion part, it is very interesting for me, because in this presentation, learning in this learning process, we have learned many things, just like the how to manage the body skill in front of the many of the students, in front of the teachers, and what is the your thought, what is the your content, many things with content, depends on your content. So that's why we have concluded this day. I have learned many things, and also discussed my team members with lots. We give the lot effort to the presentation, many things. And I want to put one quote: don't mistake activity with achievements. So that's why the
Don't clap. Presentation is not yet finished. Yes, your team member have mentioned very nicely about Antarctica. So, and yes, one of the members have also mentioned that climate change. And climate change is the very important and crucial topic of this era. We have often seen that any climate change happens, it first happens from the either Antarctica or Arctic circle. So why is there a correlation between the climate change happening and your region of Antarctica?
Sir, it may be the reason that it is in the south pole because of the sun, air wind flow, sir. It can be the reason that if the global warming is happening nowadays everywhere, because we are being organizing the village to urbanization. So in this process we are cutting lots of trees, and because of cutting the lots of trees, then it will create.
No, I'm asking
Yes,
about the
yes.
Antarctica.
Yes.
I'm not asking about your about the other places.
So it is affecting, sir, all over the world, sir. Because if something is happening there, and that will be affecting other side because of the butterfly effect. We all know that, sir, the butterfly effect. In which if the water is rising in that, sir, because of the glacier melting there, so it will be the rising of the water, sir. If water will rise there, sir, then it will affect in the whole world because of the connecting toward the water, sir, in the continent. So if we say that in the Arctic Circle or Antarctic Circle, sir, the wind flow, sir, actually, in my point of view, sir, wind flow could be the main reason for the affecting of the whole world, sir.
But the actual answer is that it is because of the length of your troposphere. If you go and visit to South Pole and North Pole, you will find roughly 8 kilometer of 8 kilometer altitude of troposphere. But if you go to the equatorial region, you will find approximately 18 to 20 kilometer. This is a precise region, and yes, you have said that it is a wind. Yes, wind and altitude is the main reason behind why we are having experience of climate change. Firstly, at the Antarctica. Yes. Fine, very good. Yes, second, people come here.
People mentioned about how acid is made and how the explosion of methane in Antarctica. So tell me how climate change affects the spreading of emerging bacteria infection in the Antarctica, and how it would affects the life of people living in Antarctica.
I will mention about the methane gas. Methane gas is the most important thing that most important gas that help the get the damage damage the damage the damage the climate and it damage the climate and due to that way that when methane gas react with any element that it will consider that it will either it will convert into acid, that it also damage the ice melting and environment, and in terms of life cycle of the life cycle that here the people have lived, then it when the climate has should be changed or go for the, just like I will also mention about the global warming. Global warming also damaging the damaging the ice slab to melt the day by day, and rise of the temperature that have I will mention about that minus 11 degrees Celsius. It is also main creator of main things that happen in the Antarctica and that you have asked from me that how the life cycle of bacteria and living beings, and but when the environment has
What is the impact of melting ice glacier?
as glacier have melting due to most two ways, that first one is global warming and the effects of also ozone layer, that effects on the Antarctic area, Antarctic region.
That is the reason behind melting. She is asking you what will be the consequences of melting down the Antarctica glacier. What will happen if glacier of Antarctica melts?
It's hydrogen of glacier side.
Sorry.
When the level of water rises, then it damages a small, just like a small box, a small piece of land. It will go under the water and also affect the continents, other continents that have been.
Any bacteria that is released from melting ice glacier?
Typical chemical company. Right. As if you visit to any country apart from our Nepal and Bhutan, we mostly require visa. Do you think if you visit Antarctica, do you require visa?
Yes, sir. We need visa.
How can you manage visa to go Antarctica?
First we need to apply for it.
Apply for visa. But you are the person, you are not associated with the Gangotri and other research center. How can you get visa there?
So, if I do it, then I can.
That means being a simple person, being a common people, you can't go Antarctica. Okay. Rahul, come here.
Which ecosystem and food web are more vulnerable in the Antarctic or southern ocean?
Can you repeat?
Which ecosystem and food web are more vulnerable in the Antarctic or southern ocean?
Have you got the question? Which species are vulnerable if climate change occurs more in Antarctica region? The species of flora and flora is absent, or sorry, plants are absent here. So it all depends on the animals. Which kind of animals will be affected if any further climate change will happen in Antarctica region?
There is no electric hydrogen, but there is two species of plants. There is Antarctic hair grass and the Antarctic bluebirds. There is a two things. But the species defect, too much defect, because there is a type of penguin are exist in the Antarctica. Only exist in Antarctica, not the
And what about the polar bear? Do you think polar bear?
it's only also exist in the Antarctica. But sir, he can survive the Greenland because there is ice. But he can survive. But the type of species, type of seal, Rosa seal, winter seal, he cannot survive in other ice because there is too much low temperature. So this is difficult to survive in other Iceland, just like in Greenland, because it is he get too much there is also different types of climate because of the mist. Sorry, because of the he cannot survive in the other Iceland.
Any further question? Last question.
How risks of life evolved dramatic change in the Antarctic Ocean?
What is that?
How risks of life evolved drastically changed in the life of Antarctic Ocean?
Firstly, our body makes to live in the 18 degrees Celsius to the our body temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. But if it reduce, it will be practical. Maybe I can die. But in Antarctica, there is who can survive. There is a fit on to medical. He can and there is most things which can carry the medicines because in Antarctica is too temperature. What he can affect our body. Maybe I can die.
Anything on behalf of your team, anyone can want to give message to the audience?
Yes, sir. Be true effort to the dedication. Give your works, and the main thing is ending is the beginning. We don't how we don't know. It is the time. Is it?
Okay, very good. Yeah, for that.